Yeah, this new coffee creamer sucks. Hello class, welcome back to Report Cards. We are going to look through May and June. I'm still not as used to the time dilation thinking here. So we're gonna go through some new hat stores, hat retailers from May to see what they did. And I think there's a little bit more difference with the groupings. As you watch this, I might go in random order, I might go in alphabetical order. So at least I'm going to record in alphabetical order. So that might work out easier for me in editing. But let me know how you think the grades are from May. There were some highlights, but I'll go through them as I go through the list here. So yeah, kind of standard opening-ish. So let's try to get this in like half an hour. That's the goal. All right. So let's make it the goal to have this done in like half an hour. All right. That's more on me than you. All right. So get a notebook, pen, and pencil because class is in session. Let's go. So I'll be going through my iPad with my notes and looking back on Instagram for visual reminders. I have a few of my May pickups. Actually, technically, I got this yesterday. This is from June, so these are my hats from some of my hats from May that I picked up. So yeah, so if you recognize any of them, let me know if you have one of them yourself, including this one. So starting with 47 brand. 47 brand had a fall off month. The one thing that I liked with 47 brand was more of the product, that their coastal collection, really nice colors, but the fact that they were franchised instead of cleanup, that they were a fitted instead of a dad hat style, it kind of wasn't the best. I mean, the franchise fitted hats of 47 brand, they're fine. They're not. It's small, medium, large, extra large, and sometimes it doesn't feel like there's a lot of precision with there's too much generality with that sizing. So I'm not the biggest fan of those hat styles, but really good colors. But that's why they're at a C+. If it was a cleanup, that'd be a B-. A lot of the other hats were for the month. They did some of the City Connect hats in a 47 brand style, and no one could save the Baltimore one, I guess. So I thought that they would be different because they did something different than what like they did for Texas or for the Braves, but no, they didn't. They couldn't save it, I guess. So we'll talk about Baltimore later. Otherwise, a lot of other meh hats. So C+ for 47 brand. So it was 4U caps. This was like B+ territory. I gotta take some points off for a little bit of Realtree. It's still a rule, guys. So if you really are paying attention to your grades here, then you'll stop the Realtree because they're bad, and I don't know why people are eating them up like they're good designs. But I had to take a few points off. I did like a few of the small variety packs I did that kind of blew me away a little bit in terms of, oh, if I had enough money, I would get those. But nope. Yeah, I've been slowing down with hat buying lately, so it's been a little tough. Because these ones, there's a little pack of like St. Louis Browns, the Miami Marlins, in the colors of the Dolphins, and then like an A's in red. But they're really good. Really good with like the off-white stone, more like a stone color crown, and then the brim was like the team color, like the color used in the logo. Very simple, neutral, used colors. Loved it. 95 North Boutique. So I put in my notes here. My wallet hates seeing 95 North Boutique do so good like this. There are some good hats. And a lot of those hats go fast in terms of being available on the website, but also I think being just available overall. So didn't get them all. Didn't get all the ones that I wanted exactly, but I did have to take some points off for Realtree, but still a B plus, where those hats that were good, they're in consideration for honor roll for the month for May, so that's good for them. So Berdines, I did get the Ronnie pre-order early, which was nice, which they said it was supposed to be June, but we got it on like early May. I opened mine on 5950 day, so there's a video for that, but it was a good surprise. So there is another Berdines hat that I pre-ordered that I'm a little bit more excited about because it's a Cubs hat. This is White Sox. I mean, it's good colors, but the Cubs one I'm more excited about, of course, because I'm a Cubs fan, and it's a side patch that I don't have. It's very unique. So hopefully that's supposed to be for July, but maybe June. I'm not saying an expectation. They don't even know the timeline. It's just whenever they get it, they get it. But for May, I gotta take off points from Berdines for some Realtree hats. I gotta, even though it's local, one of my favorite shops, they do a really good job. I gotta be fair. I can't always play favorites as a teacher. I hated when teachers played favorites, so I can't always play favorites. But there were some other good hats that didn't totally bring down the grade. There's just one Realtree, 3 Realtree hats in a small pack. The other ones, a lot of minor league focus. There were some leftover Ronnie Fitteds designs of some Boston, some like K-pop connections, which was a different hook than what you normally think. So a lot of good hats. B plus, probably, yeah, in that range. So Capanova, B plus, B range as well. Probably gonna be like B. There's an orange and blue pack that was just based off of color. I think when things are based off of the colors, it's more applicable to more hats, which is cooler. They had a sitcom pack that, like, the idea of it is nice. Execution was kind of so. Yeah, I think that the orange and blue, hopefully it's still there, hat pack, that's the one that looked really good. Before I go any further, if I hadn't mentioned this, I'm trying to do my best to get through this recording here without yawning as much, which you can kind of hear. So, sorry about that. So, looking at Crown Legends on their Instagram page, the one that's like sticking out to me here is like a bit of like a pastel color pack here. That's really the only one. It's like a Cubs in like a beige, orange-ish yellow. St. Louis Browns in like a bright green, and Detroit Tigers in a bright blue. So these look like the best of May for them, and I think some of their best hats in a while. The other hats aren't, at least from what I'm seeing, there's no real tree. So good job for you guys. But otherwise, there's not much else that's like going to like at least pull me through. So I'm gonna give it a B. But the 3-pack that I'm looking at, I'll try to put them on the screen. Those are ones that look really good, that I would want even all 3 of them if I could. So for Clark Street Sports, it's like a B plus. I think the one hat that's helping a lot is their Roberto Clemente for it's like a Pirates with the like a lot of like blues and grays and yellows and fades, and it's like a Pirates hat that I would almost want, actually. That like I had seen it, but maybe it's the second look of it that yeah, I should get one of that. Hopefully they have it, and I'm sure that they do have it at the store, because I've seen before where it's like, oh, online they're out, and there was, I don't know where exactly it is, but there was a Cubs and Bears collab hat that they made, and I bought it for resale on eBay. Not too much, I bought it for $85, but then that was like about a year or two ago, and I went to the Clark Street Sports store in Lawrence in Chicago, and they had a whole shelf of them. It's like, oh, I could have waited. So hopefully they're still there. I need to make a visit real soon, because I do need to pick up one of their Chicago Sky hats there that I haven't seen before made, so that'd be a really cool one. So B plus for Clark Street Sports. So Cool Jays, they had a really good bounce back month in April. So it's real tough here because they do have some real tree, so I gotta take points off for that. And I mean, like, there are some like decent looking real tree ones. These ones are okay out there. The Florida one looks okay, but they do have, and I know this is like a program hat that, you know, like everyone has, but they have the Miami Heat NBA Finals hat, and Cool Jays is in Miami, so I'm gonna give them some extra points there because the Miami Heat are on a tear, being led by Jimmy Buckets, who was on doubles. Thank you. And you know, they traded him away, and it hasn't been the same. Would Jimmy have done the same for the Bulls? I would hope so. Would the Bulls look the same? No, it would have looked different with Jimmy at the helm. But good for Jimmy. I'm rooting for Denver myself personally. When I was in second and third grade basketball, like in like the little like elementary league, I was on the Denver Nuggets. So you know, I'm rooting for the Nuggets, and Denver Broncos are my second favorite football team, so, you know, go Denver. But I'm rooting for Jimmy. I'm not rooting for the Heat. I'm rooting for Jimmy Butler and Max Strus because he played at DePaul, Chicago school, and my uncle works for DePaul. So hopefully he showed up for game 2. He did not show up at all for game 1. So for Cool Jays, I'm going to waive off the real tree rules this one time just for this historic moment. A minus. So, Crown Minded was so fucking awesome in May. It's an A+. It's an A+ for sure. But the way they did it was just these, like, again, these small variety packs. I think the really good ones were these record breaker hats that I'm pretty sure the Braves one is still online. But the Giants one, I kind of want a little bit more because I don't have a Giants hat. And I want, if you look at the row back here of hats, those are my side patches in chronological order. So it'd be nice to, add the 06 or 07? 07 All-Star game to that row. Granted, now that's World Series and All-Star games. Now, if I get to a point of too many hats for that one shelf, because it stretches from 1908 until 2023, it's over a century of hats there. If it gets to a point, I would have to reconfigure some hat shelving. So, but it wasn't just that. It was some other. There's like a rock collection that they did that Chad Tall Package dressed up for in high heels. They had a restock going on. They had let's see what else was there. Some minor league stuff. They had a lot of good stuff overall. So they get an A+. So fantastic job, Crown Minded, and hopefully my wallet isn't looking when I go and shop with you guys. So Billion Creation, San Diego, they had one drop for May, it looks like, but oh man, was it a good one. It was a throwback of 25 years ago when the Padres faced the Empire Yankees, the evil Empire Yankees in the World Series. And the hats, it's just like the hats themselves are very much the same, but it's just a difference of the word marking across the front of San Diego in navy lettering, but a orange outline, and then New York, same but a white outlining on the lettering. So this was huge. This was done through Anthony at Crown Clean. This was very much hyped up, and from the picture I saw of the lines out the door, they probably reached the beaches out by Billion Creations. Is a success of a drop. So A+, for Billion Creations, for even though there's one drop, but A+. So looking next at Hat Dreams, they had, I'm trying to make sure that I have my notes here, that I'm looking at the right ones. So they got a B. It's B+ territory of what they're doing. I think it's more like B+ with the landmark having a very DC connection. Very much so, yes, DC, Washington DC is the capital of America, United States of America, and you have all these great monuments that everyone knows about. It's, the White House, my future home. It's the U.S. Capitol. It's the Washington Monument for President George Washington. There's the Lincoln Memorial, but there's an actual city within the lines of District of Columbia. So this is what they were doing, and I'm really torn between, because when you do other hats, because I know I had mentioned before about like Billion Creations doing just the one hat drop and getting the A+, but that's only one that they did. When you do multiple, it's you have to have that factor in of what are the lows compared to the highs. How many highs are there of the lows? Are the lows bringing down the highs, or are the lows supporting the highs? So I'm more, and this is not exact science. This is subjective grading, and it's not like a final grade exactly. It's just my grading. I wanted to do something, to resume, what had been done before. To kind of look at the stores overall. I'd say it's more like an A minus, just with that aspect. So with Hat Dreams, they're gonna get the A minus for May. Hat Club, C minus. Let's see what I put down, or what they had going on, because I'm gonna tell you already that they're gonna have a really good June already with what I thought was this pinstripe collection that they're doing. But for May, yeah, it was pretty mid, as the kids would say. So yeah, so it's more like a C minus. I think what's helping them is like the Black Ice collection, which would be nice to bring back, like the Frostbite, which was the navy, and the hat with the blue icy UV. That'd be better to bring back, but that's just me. Yeah, June they're gonna have a really good month. I can tell already with this coming to Chicago for SneakerCon in mid-June, and having this like pinstripe collection coming out. But that'll be for June. That'll be for next month. Hat Stop, B minus of Real Tree it's like B minus C plus territory. There was some Real Tree which, it was affecting the grade a little bit more, but what was helping was a lot of Mariners script across the front of the hat. A lot of different colors. There were some good hooks of like colleges to make it feel local-ish. So I like that aspect. So that's kind of what was, that connecting. So that helps. So B minus with Hat Stop in May. Leaders out in Chicago, dropped them 20s. Stay alert, be alert. They're gonna have a good June for sure. Their pinnacle performance, they had a few hats throughout this like pack of like these like monumental baseball performances spread out through different releases, and one of them is still in my car. I picked it up the other day at my UPS box. It was Kerry Wood 20 strikeout game, which of course is just a fantastic game. I'll do a video of that soonish, so you'll see that, or maybe you've already seen it. Either way, but they had other hats that were just simple. It kind of was based on like coloring, but also based like simple colors across. We're gonna use the same color idea of like a neutral, kind of like an off-white or a stone-like crown, and then having the like colors, team colors on the brim and the logos. Worked out really good. So it is B plus A minus territory. It's A minus. It's an A minus. So Lids HD. It's like D plus C minus range. So here's what I put in my notes here. For Lids HD, Lids Hat Drop, it's hard. It's between two grades. Between like a C minus and a D plus. So here's what I wrote in my notes here. Only good hats I could at least appreciate the hook was to the Derby hats for the Kentucky Derby. I wouldn't get them myself, but I like the idea to the Kentucky Derby like the Masters was when they did the Masters minor league hats back in April. Otherwise, pitiful month. Hats and social media presence was cringy for me. I guess cool retro Mitchell and Ness NBA fitted. ... So let me kind of explain here. Let me go back and make sure that I'm reading verbatim what I was thinking of when I talked about social media presence being cringy. So I want to make sure that I get this right, that I read this verbatim. Okay. So this was posted on May 17th for the mallard call. Like a duck. The idea was really good. I liked it. And the execution was really good. The idea, to look at like a drake duck outside, that's pretty common. But when they say in the post here, when it comes to inspiration, our team truly has no bounds. Oh, I didn't know that it was inspirational to look out a window. I mean, I have a... Can I get credit for... I mean, if I was to make a mallard duck-like collection with these kind of colors, I have a duck, the same kind of duck, in my front yard most of the time, and I'm feeding him bread, and his wife Daisy. Would I get, would that be called, ingenious inspiration? Just looking outside the window. It's like when Hat Club was running out of food ideas, and then they kept looking down the food aisle. They kept looking in their pantry and the grocery store. They kept looking in their fridge. I don't know what's wrong with you, Hat Club. You guys could be having an A+ month if you just came over to me and asked to do the fridge collection. Or even lids. Whoever wants it. I don't care anymore. Someone take the fridge pack. But it just seemed a little with that kind of quoting of our team knows no bounds. Like, it's a duck. Otherwise, the rest of the month, it's going to be D+, really, looking back at how bad the real tree was. So, D. I know I keep going back and forth between the grades. D for Lids HD. Locker Room of Downey, B-. New Era themselves, this is a little tough. This is really, really tough. Because I liked that they had, with some of their 5950 day hats, they did a good job this year. They did a good job. I don't know what made them say to themselves, hey, we've been doing some pretty similar stuff for the last 2 years, 3 years. We should change on 5950 day. So good job. Not a big fan. I don't know who was a fan of a leather hat that was $130, but there were some good other 5950 day hats, anniversary hats. I did a video on, because for me, I liked the idea of the build your own cap, the cap builder, New Era by You. It's down now. They took it away. It was supposed to be for a limited time, but the hate that it got was so unwarranted. It was just so many children, hat collectors, just kicking and screaming. I want to customize it however I want to. I want to be able to, make my mock-up into an actual hat. Can you imagine the licensing issues that they would face now? I mean, before, when they did something like this, when New Era did this, I remember the original run of it. And it was cool. I didn't do it myself. Maybe I just didn't have the creativity or the want to have it then. But it was good. But the idea back then of having hooks wasn't really a thing like it is today. So I'm sure that there'd be some licensing issues but there were some limitations which maybe could have gone without, like maybe more than 3 letters on the front. I can understand it, but I at least was in support of it. It was just kind of annoying with all the children running around Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and going onto other YouTube pages just taking a shit on it. But then New Era had to have bad hats throughout the month. And I'm going to give them put the credit line on them for the City Connect hats, doing a good-ish job with the Mariners, doing a pretty good job with the Reds, doing a shit job, though, with the Baltimore Orioles. There were so many connections of, hey, remember when Nike did the like really boring ass Great Britain World Baseball Classic jerseys? There was in like the really Arial font, boring looking uniform design. Yeah, pretty similar. Like, there were so many ways that they could have gone with like all those colors on the maps, and they squandered it. They squandered all those opportunities. I don't know, because the uniform is by Nike, but the hat is by New Era. So, still gonna take the points off. The floral hat wasn't great. I don't necessarily think that it was like a ripoff of J-Tips, like I had heard before. It just was good colors, but kind of a bad execution. So this is a tough one for the grade. I want to give good credit with the good hats from the beginning of the month with New Era, but then the back end of the month was a real pull down. I think just for fairness, C, just a C in the middle. So yeah, that's kind of just tough. Pro image, B minus. Great improvements I put down. Still haven't bought anything since March. The Hat God competition, sponsored by Microsoft Teams, looks complicated, more than usual. So that's what I put in my notes for Pro image. It's a B minus. It's better than better than what they've done before, I think. So you gotta give them something. Sneaker Town. It's an A. There was this black dome collection here that they did that there are so many there are so many ways that you can do a black hat, but this just felt different, different, that I need to find out if it's still available. I would want it. It looked really good. They're the Braves, I remember. I think they're the Twins, but it wasn't like too flashy. It was a pop of it. It was good. It's a really good job, Sneaker Town. I can give them an A. Sports World 165, B minus. In the notes here, nothing really impressive, but no real tree at least. Good job, guys. Still, C plus. I thought you guys were cool and wouldn't do real tree, but they did. Pinstripes were cool though. So let me go back and actually see which I was looking at specifically with the real tree aspect of, yeah, it's just bad. It's just, I mean, all real tree is bad. All real tree hats are bad and don't make sense. Most of them don't make sense except for the one time that they did the Orioles for the horror pack. I said that before. It's the only time it made sense. Did it look good? Still debatable, but it made sense at least. All the other times real tree has been done, bleh. Yeah, there's a cool pinstripe 3-pack that they did for Toronto, the Cubs, and Detroit, which does look cool, but the real tree is bringing it down, so Yeah. While we're up in Canada, let me go through Anthem. That they did a really good job. They're gonna get an A minus. I really liked their Ontario Rain Blue Ice Steel Ice hat. AHL, they've been doing a few teams for. Anthem, if you're listening, if you can try to do like Chicago Wolves, that'd be like really cool. That'd be really cool. So, I can't find a good, I can't even find a good like 47 brand hat that they have. So, yeah, they had a really nice Royals Vegas Gold. I'm sorry, the A minus is unfair. This is A plus material for Anthem. So, but it also helped that they did an adjustable hat, that they did a dad hat for the Raptors. That's awesome. That's what I love to see. Hat diversity at its best. That's awesome. So that's A plus material helping. I mean, it's not just because of the dad hat that they did, that they posted on their Instagram compared to last month, compared to April, when I took points off because they were taking shots at snapback hats. They do this. Maybe they were listening. Great job, guys. For my fitteds, I wanted to look through their Instagram again just to make sure that I'm, the grade initially given was the right one, because I maybe might have wrote the grade in the notes like in early mid-May, when it's like, this is kind of early to write this stuff, so I should, keep it more up to date. It's going to be more along the lines of like a B minus, maybe C plus. There were B minus. There were some good hats. There was this big drop that they did toward the end of May. I think it was like last weekend. They did like a Jackie hat. Thank you Jackie hat. They did a Giants in like a light blue paisley. That was a cool design. I like that idea. Not that I would exactly wear it, but it's a nice design. Maybe, and I know that, so when I'm recording this, it's closer to the upcoming release day than it is from when the June report card will be coming out. That they have there's like big drop coming out on June 3rd, and some of the hats highlighted would be it's like Clark the Cub mascot in Argyle. There's the rubber, it's not the Akron rubber, it's a duck hat from minor league team that has like a really really bad kind of like orange leopard spot design to it. It just looks bad. There's a Mariners hat that the color of it looks pretty cool, but there's a random piece of rope around it. Like it's not like the 90s when they had like the rope across the brim. I mean, rope on a hat has been done before. It's nothing new. But this idea that it's in a full knot, that's, I guess, new. But I guess an early grade for my fitteds for June is going to be real bad. So we'll see how that goes. So to close out May here, I know I probably went over half an hour than my original time slot that I wanted to. Whatever. It was the premiere of Mott Haven out in the Bronx, also known as Toppers USA, that two of the members from Youth from the Vault, Pierre and Jason, have co-founded, along with Pat from the Motherland Toppers in Austria. And early on, there were some points taken off for the hats of the real tree being implemented, and it's still in effect, but there were some awesome ass hats that they did that it still seemed like something you would see from Toppers. Like, we've had these stores out now for a while that a store releases a hat and you kind of think, yeah, that's their kind of style. That's something like that they would do, which can be good. It could be bad. You can kind of identify. This still feels like something like Toppers would do, but it just seems a little elevated. Maybe it's because it can be obtainable now, that it's in the U.S. borders now. I'll give extra points because they were able to have the website up earlier than expected. Like I said, for back in the April report card, previewing with Toppers USA, that like the grades here are not just based on the hat, but it's also based on the customer experience. And the customer experience of like buying online is a big thing, but this store not having an online presence was not going to hurt them from my initial grading. Even if, as we stand today, I would say, yes, it would be nice if these hats would be available online, but I wouldn't take the points off, because hearing from their documentation through the journey of the store going through, there's a lot more to the store than maybe just the website. So, taking it step by step, it is of course fucking fantastic that it is available. The website is up, that I was able to get a hat. It was a Braves hat. I did want the one hat that I really wanted was the Washington Senators one, and like script. That one is like hat of the year already material. But there's some other good hats that were shock drops that went fast. So, but if I check now, to be honest, I want to say that maybe some hats might be sitting, which could be the case. I mean, but I just want to see if the one that I'm thinking of that I also wanted, if it's sitting as well. And the shopping experience, I thought that the Toppers USA would also take into effect my regular Toppers login. It didn't, but I'm not going to complain about that. Okay, so the Rangers hat that I was thinking of, it's kind of out. Another shock drop. I'm just doing this on the fly here. Yeah, the other shock drop of cool hats, still kind of around. Yeah, there's a Texas one, the Rangers. I've been jumping the Rangers bandwagon lately. So, for Mott Haven, it's gonna be an A-. I know that there were some real tree hats. It can cause some B+ range, but I still B+ A- range, but I still lean more toward the side of A- for Toppers USA then. So that is May is in the books. June coming up. We'll see how it goes. June is a big month for me. I have my 5-year anniversary coming up of being on YouTube. So I'm going to be doing some throughout the summer. I'm going to be doing some celebration videos, and it would have been nice if I could have done one day for the week leading up to, but with timing I might run out, especially with the one really big idea that I have for the celebration. Might have to wait, so we'll have to spread out throughout the summer maybe. But yeah, That's going to be the next kind of like biggish thing to look forward to for the channel here, with some other hat videos coming out. But let me know in the comments down below, if you as a hat retailer, did I give you a fair grade? Am I taking too many points off for Realtree? Am I being unfair about Realtree? I say no. What do you say? And as a hat collectors out there, as hat consumers, am I being fair to some of these places? Did I forget a place that you thought, hey, Professor Hatter missed a store? There are some places that I missed, yes. So let me know in the comments down below, and what your top 3 hats were of May. So, as always, thank you for watching. Hats off to you. I'll see you next time in class, everyone. Class is dismissed. Bye, everyone. Billy, we gotta get new coffee creamer. This one sucks. Yeah, the French vanilla one. What do you mean you're gonna get me the 0 sugar, 0 fat one? What are you saying? Asshole.